Do you know your status?
He does.
And we focus on child abuse.
From across the Caribbean.
This is Live Up the Show.
Hello everyone and welcome. Regional Testing Day happens every year in June, and there's good news here because the number of people being tested is growing. In 2008, when the CBMP first started this, they tested over 2,000 people. A mere 5 years later, it's over 15,000 people, so it's working. I want everyone to get involved this year in Regional Testing Day, particularly if you're young and sexually active. Get a test, know your status.
Definitely, it's amazing that those figures are growing. If you know your status, we can stop the spread. Today, we are going to talk a lot about testing, as knowing your status and knowing your partner's status can save your life.
It can, that's the point, it can save your life. We asked you what you thought about testing, and here's what you said.
Sex is going to happen regardless, and because this pretty moment you can do stuff that you don't know. If you know your status and the other person knows your status, you become more confident and more aware of the person you're doing it with. Without knowing it, then it becomes a little bit, it's a risk, it's a big risk.
Yes, I think it's important for people to know their status because they can prevent themselves from infecting other people.
Definitely, you're that much better off having that knowledge in your brain, having your status known to you. It's, you know what to do, you know how to proceed.
I think that's very important for you to know your status. It empowers you as an individual, one. It allows you to make decisions that can affect your health and your well-being. And it also helps you if you're in a relationship, so at least both persons know their status and they can either go into a healthy living sexually, or even if the person was positive and the other person was negative, then you could make decisions on how you're going to live sexually in that way.
Yeah, obviously it's important because it's an illness or a disease, and you must know about it. Maybe some people have it and they don't know it. So yeah, obviously it's important to be informed about it.
If you don't know your status and you go and you get into a relationship with someone and you go and you have sex and stuff, and then you have AIDS and they don't know and you don't know, then you infected them and both of you probably die. Or if you break up or something, he will go and have sex with somebody else and it will spread the disease more.
Alex, it's so awesome that people are actually starting to think about knowing their status, but unfortunately there are still those who are reluctant to get tested. Many of them believe that they will be discriminated against, and some people actually think that people turn their backs on them.
Well, not this young man. He went for it. You had something to do with this, didn't you, Reagan?
Yeah, this is Robin. I filmed him at our local testing center. Check it out.
I'm Robin Ramgula. I'm 22 years of age and I live across the street in Colorado. I have 5 brothers and 1 sister, and I live with my cousin Lee, so I'm more of a family guy. When it comes to HIV, I know it's a big word, right? Because I know it's a dreadful epidemic that seems to be taking over the world today, right? It's caused by mainly unprotected sex, drug abuse using the same needles. The disease passed on to an unborn child from the mother. I don't have any family or anything with it, but to me, I feel hurt and a bit sorry for those who has it and the pain that they go through and knowing what they go through, and they can be stereotyped, as I say, discriminated, and I'm not a person that discriminates. I go for who you are. I'm here to get tested and take it from there. Although, knowing my status, I'm a bit nervous. I know condoms are not 100%, so I still choose to come and get tested. We are all human, right? And you need to know your partner's status. You need to be faithful to them, to one partner, and that's about it. kind of hard because I don't really like needles and things, so that's my mind to just to get it over with. Stay faithful to one partner and abstinence.
Robin shows us you don't have to be famous to be a good role model.
Yeah, isn't that cool? He was so impressive. I'm so proud of him. Anyway, coming up, the members of chart-topping pop sensation Cover Drive discuss role models, sex education, and testing.
No child from 2012 onwards should be born with HIV. Even if you infected with HIV, you're still a human being. They're still living, they're still breathing, so we gotta love and respect them. Darren Summy here endorsing the Live Up campaign. 2012, from now on, no Caribbean child born with HIV. We're moving forward, we're educating our people, and it's all about love, protect, respect.
Live up, shout, live up, live up.
There has been a lot of discussion as to whether people in the public eye, sportsmen, entertainers, politicians even, should be role models. So when Alex caught up with Cover Drive at their rehearsal studio in Barbados, she posed that very question to them.
We definitely feel responsibility. We do feel some responsibility for, influencing younger people, and we do feel like role models. And we do feel that we have to kind of, how to explain it, live to influence people in a positive way. Everything we do, from our music to meeting people, is always positive, because we're just all about spreading positive energy. But we just feel like everyone is a role model, believe it or not. Whether you're famous, whether you're a superstar, you are a role model, because a whole society, it takes a society to raise a village to raise a child. Is that the same?
Yeah, everyone should always be striving to influence the youth positively.
Exactly.
And I'm an older brother of two younger brothers, and
they've all become like our young.
Pretty much. Exactly. Yeah. So I want my little brothers to look up to me, and I want to be a positive influence for them, and I don't want them to be out on the street doing nonsense. So I try and inspire them to be great.
Well, the Live Up campaign says love, protect, respect. But we, in this part of the world, you know very well, in the Caribbean, we struggle sometimes still with stigma and discrimination. You've now lived outside of Barbados in the UK, had so much more exposure to the rest of the world. How have your views changed? What have you noticed?
Coming from Barbados, you grow up with certain things instilled in you that might seem fine and cool to talk about in Barbados, but when you go away, you realize, oh wait, you actually can't say those things in public.
Like homosexuality in the Caribbean, is very normal in the Caribbean, and especially in Barbados, to kind of talk about homosexuals in a derogative way. And it's not like you necessarily have anything against them or you mean it to hurt someone, but you just do it casually. And when you go overseas and you do it and you realize it's just not cool because...
It's not cool at all.
What do you guys think about sex education in schools?
From our experience, I'd say that it is like little to non-existent, sex education in schools. And I think it should be a lot more. And I really, really think it should start as soon as you enter secondary school, because as soon as you enter secondary school, even if you're 11 years old, you're in a school with people up to the age of 18, and you're exposed to it. It's there. Sex is there.
It's crucial. I mean, the reality is kids are having sex.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, you can try and stop it, but kids will and kids are having sex. So they need to be educated about it. They need to know the dangers of having unprotected sex, the risks, the consequences. They need to know about it from as they start hitting puberty. They need to know.
Who are the greatest influences in your lives growing up and now continuing as young professionals?
Well, up to the age of about 15, my older sister, was definitely the biggest influence. I used to look up to everything she did. But then as I got older, it became, TRA's parents, our managers, they definitely have, they're our biggest role models, really and truly. They guide us, they help us through any problems we have. We can go to them.
Grounded.
Yeah, they keep us grounded. They're definitely probably my biggest influence.
Well, in terms of me, I was an only child up until the age of about 8. So I didn't really have that many influences other than like the Power Rangers and Ash Ketchum for Pokemon. So in a sense, I was always helping people and trying to be the hero in certain sense. But then when I got older, I had to say my role models were my parents as well. Because, they instilled me with so many great morals and values, and they keep me grounded and humble. They don't let my head inflate so it's too heavy for my shoulders. So I'm thankful for them.
For me, it would definitely be my brother. When I was growing up, I actually started guitar because of my brother. I want to do everything like him. I skateboarded because of him. But now, I'd have to say it's actually Tira's dad, Ray Armstrong. He's so wise and intelligent, and I could just listen to him talk for hours, and everything that comes out of his mouth is just magic.
And for me, it's definitely my friends that we're growing up with. There were a bunch of 10 of us that we grew up with, and you always look up to the older people that you hang around. You always want to be like them. So for me, it was that. And now, definitely as our managers, Ray and Kerry, they're such genuine people, and you just want to strive to be just genuine like them. For me, so that's why I look up to them.
They may be up there with the stars, but their feet definitely on the ground.
Yes, and they were wonderful to interview too. Really open and genuine.
You looked as though you had a lot of fun interviewing.
Yes, sorry about that.
So, what? Given that testing is the way to go if we're to get to zero new infections, we asked your views on the recent news of home HIV testing and whether you think it should be available in the Caribbean.
Yes, I would. I think it would be an advancement for Jamaica and the Caribbean at large because, a lot of people, because of the stigma attached to don't want to go to public places to test for HIV. So if this could be available where you can get just like a pregnancy kit where you can go home and test it on your own, I think a lot of people would participate in that.
Most people that may be tempted to get tested stray away from the public. So I think that if it could be done at home, it would be easier for the people that may be inquiring about it in the confidentiality at home.
Home HIV testing should be done, should be implemented, because at least it's more convenient for persons who they probably would be putting it off, or for fear or for what other reason. It would be more convenient, and it should be done.
People
are not don't readily want to go to healthcare facilities because we have this idea of people knowing our business or whatever. So having the HIV test done at home, it's confidential to you and you know. So it's better. People would be more ready to do it because I would if it's in the home.
I think it's a great idea, but it has its pros and cons, having the home HIV test. For some people, the whole idea of privacy, you want to know your business while other persons knowing about it. And having it like when you do a pregnancy test, you can take that test, you can know your result.
It would be a great benefit to have such a resource on hand at your fingertips. No extra cost, no trip to the medical center. So it would be ideal, yes.
I think that would be ideal because a lot of people still worry about, going to the clinic to get an HIV test because they're like, ooh, I'm getting tested for HIV and other people are going to know it. So if people can do it within the privacy of their homes, I think the more, all the better for them on the privacy front, yeah.
Not everybody's going to go to a doctor, or not everybody's going to do it in public. So doing it in private, it would be much better.
In my opinion, it would be better in terms of people won't have to worry about the privacy issue and they would be able to deal with it themselves.
Yeah, I think that would be nice any place because that's a easier way for people to know about their situation, and maybe if they have or they suffer for HIV, that would inform them. So that'd be good, yeah. That help a lot, and mostly the Caribbean that it's so common.
Our generation has the power to create an HIV-free generation. Get tested and know your status.
Driving around on the public road fast is a hazard. Drinking and unprotected sex is just another example of careless and irresponsible behavior. I think it's really important for young people to try and actually be engaged in what is smart and what is right for first yourself and then others. That mutual respect needs to be nurtured. So from the circle, love, protect, and respect. Live up.
Live up, shout, live up.
Live Up the show is seen across the region on member stations of the CBMP, including these in the Northeastern Caribbean, in Antigua on ABS-TV, in Dominica on SAT Telecommunications and Marpin, in Montserrat on People's Television and Truly Caribbean, in St. Kitts on ZIZ-TV, and in Nevis on Nevis Cable 8. in Dutch St. Martin on St. Martin Cable, in the British Virgin Islands on CBN TV 51 and Jetix Television, and in the US Virgin Islands on Innovative Cable.
One of the drivers of the HIV epidemic, and one of the most complicated to deal with, is child abuse. Too many children from our region's first encounter with sex is through violence, rape, incest, and usually by adults. We're really happy to have Tisha Hines here with us, who prepared a report talking about this problem and its consequences.
Hi Tisha, thanks for being with us.
Good to be here.
Now, the dark secrets of child abuse seem to be coming up out of the shadows. What really inspired you to do this report, this Live Up report?
What you said just now is what inspired my report. I like the fact that it's coming to the fore, and I think that's the only way forward so that we can ably combat child sexual abuse.
So having done your report, Tisha, what do you think is the main social change we need in the region?
We need discussion. We need to be able to speak with children so they can get their ideas out there and certainly talk about the problems they're experiencing.
Definitely. Now, hundreds of thousands will see your report. What is it exactly you would like them to take away after seeing it?
Child sexual abuse is still a very taboo topic in the region. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some of this out of the way. So like I said, discussion can start and we can see some real positive changes.
Good to talk to you, Tisha.
Thank you.
Same here.
Let's have a look now at that report.
Many will argue that the conversation on HIV/AIDS has been exhausted. From all areas, everything there is to know about it, people have talked about already. But have you stopped to consider how child sexual abuse is impacting on HIV/AIDS in the Caribbean? The World Bank's Caribbean Youth Development Report 2003 shows that the Caribbean has the earliest age of sexual debut in the world, with many young people being initiated into sexual behavior as a consequence of child abuse as early as 10 years, in some instances even earlier. In related studies, early sexual initiation has also been positively correlated with child sexual abuse. The commercialization of sex among minors as a commodity for material exchange, and child prostitution. It's suggested that the social and psychological effects of child sexual abuse are contributing to the Caribbean's high teenage pregnancy rate and are also changing behaviors that contribute to the spread of HIV and other sexually transmitted infections. The story seems to be pretty much the same across the region. So what's being done? And are these efforts worthwhile? Across the Caribbean, individuals and organizations alike are working in unconventional ways to give a voice to the once voiceless, abused child.
The Bruce Reed Project is a non-profit organization with a vision to facilitate the end of child sexual abuse in Barbados, the Caribbean, and worldwide. I started the project because of personal experience. I'm still experiencing the effects of child sexual abuse day to day. It is a struggle working, having individuals understand your perspective and the way you do certain things and why you do certain things is a challenge because, you know, people don't really understand what abuse does to you as a child.
Meanwhile, movies, too many to mention, have set the silver screen ablaze over the years, chronicling what are often described as true life, ripped from the headline stories of abuse. But none has been as effective and impactful in at least sparking conversation on this taboo topic as the two installments of Hush, the movie, tales of Caribbean people like you and me who deal with issues like child abuse head on.
I got up one morning very early, which is unusual because I'm a late person. And I heard God's voice saying to me, I want you to begin to write movies that will teach your nations my principles. And the first movie that I did was Hush One, which dealt with teenage pregnancy and abortion. The second movie dealt primarily with sexual abuse of children. And funny enough, that a lot of that what you saw in the second movie came out of the first movie. When we did the first movie, we had a discussion session at the end of the film at the Olympus. And it was amazing to see that there were quite a few girls, not a lot, but probably 3 or 4 girls dressed in uniform who were pregnant and going to school. Nobody knew, teacher didn't know, principal didn't know, parents didn't know. In some cases, we were taking the children home, you know, to be a buffer so they could tell their parents that they were pregnant. In addition to the pregnancy, we found that there were quite a number of children who were sexually abused, and through that film they started to tell us. Some of them were cutting themselves. Some of the same girls who were pregnant for men who were older than they were, who abused them. And so it was very difficult for them to be able to share with their parents that this thing happened to them, because they didn't want, a lot of them said they were scared that they would get the person in trouble, or that their parents would get in trouble because they thought the parents would kill these people. So the movie really came out of that. The second one, there was such a need to be able to address the situation. It came very powerful, very strong, and that was the purpose of it, because we wanted to say, wake up Caribbean, not just Barbados, wake up Caribbean. There's something happening here. 1 in 3 of our young women is being molested. We need to do something.
Victims of child abuse make up a great number of the most vulnerable communities in the region. If we are to effectively battle the spread of HIV/AIDS in the Caribbean, then this is an area that must take its rightful place at the forefront of the fight. For the Caribbean Broadcast Media Partnership on HIV/AIDS, I'm Tisha Hines.
So me sing yada yada ya. So me sing yada yada ya. Oh yeah. Yada yada. Ace is around the corner, and if you no want it, I want to hear you sing now. Ace is around the corner, and if you no want it, I want to hear you sing now. Ace is around the corner, and if you no want it, I want to hear you sing now. Ace is around the corner, and if you no want it, I want to hear you sing now. So we have to uplift morality, uplift humanity. We all look so nice and full of quality. Put it up and let me see. You know you're sexy. Don't let nobody give you HIV now. Uplift morality, uplift humanity. We all look so nice and full of quality. Put it up and let me see. You know you're sexy. Don't let nobody give you HIV now. Let me know you not. Say not, say not. Ace is around the corner, and if you no want it, I want to hear you sing now. Ace is around the corner, and if you no want it, I want to hear you sing now. Ace is around the corner, and if you no want it, I want to hear you sing now. So you want to live and be healthy and also be wealthy, but you don't wanna change. A simple change in your attitude now. That's all it takes. Cut the deck now, let me see. If you're a winner, show me. If you don't want no HIV, put up your hand, let me see. Come put it up. Put up your hand now. Put up your hand now. Put up your hand, let me see. Come put it up. Put up your hand now. Put up your hand now. Yagdi 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 yo. Now from me know you nah. Sing nah, sing nah. Ace is around the corner, and if you no want it, I want to hear you sing nah. Ace is around the corner, and if you no want it, I want to hear you sing nah. Ace is around the corner, and if you no want it, I want to hear you sing nah.
Well, that was an action-packed show.
Yeah,
we had fun.
We totally had fun. Well, we have to leave right now, but we'll be back. And remember, to
live up, love, protect, respect.
Do I not look at you through the entire thing, or after impressive?
Oh, sorry. I'm the first line?
Yeah.
I beg your pardon.
Anyway, coming up, the members of chart-topping pop sensation Cover Drive love their music. They discuss... I was trying something. But many of them believe that they're afraid because...
They don't believe that they're afraid. They know they're afraid.
I know.
Wow, what an action-packed show. We had...
You look like you had a lot of fun.
Yes.
But remember.
Yes.
But we'll be back. But we'll be back.
And remember.
But remember, to live up, love...
I thought we'd be back.
Sorry, we have to be back. We have to be back.
I thought we'd be back.